Good people, what is going on? Another episode of the All Go Podcast. I'm your host, Desmond. Thank you for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. 4th of July is coming up, so just want to say happy 4th to everybody. If this is the last video you see before then. But had a couple things that I wanted to chat about quickly. One of them being the trade that was just announced today, I believe, and it was Minkah Fitzpatrick, the Pro Bowl safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers, has been traded to the Miami Dolphins for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith, the tight end. Pretty surprising trade. I know Jalen Ramsey, and I think the Dolphins got also a late round pick as well. So it was they get Minkah, a late round draft pick, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers get Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. I mean, this trade seemed to come out of nowhere. I mean, Minkah Fitzpatrick, since he's been there with the Steelers, has been just an absolute, foundational piece, a great player. I mean, Minkah Fitzpatrick has been one of the few guys that basically from the moment he was drafted, he's been pretty darn good. Built by Bama, by the way. But no, Minkah he's been terrific. And I am shocked and floored that the Pittsburgh Steelers decided to trade him. I mean, you never heard anything about Minkah Fitzpatrick except the dude is playing extremely well on the football field. Never issues, never any drama. From all reports, he's amazing in the locker room, and was also that in the Dolphins as well when he was drafted. But just a shock and a surprise, and also a surprise of who it was for, right? So it was for Jalen Ramsey, which we all know Jalen Ramsey is a terrific player, but also there was some rumblings that he wasn't quite happy. There were reports that there were a couple guys with the Dolphins that weren't showing up to meetings on time. Now, most of the rumors seem to be looking at Tyreek Hill as that person, but I mean, Jalen was not happy, and maybe a change of scenery will get him there. But I'm not sure I would have done that trade for as terrific as I think of a player Jalen Ramsey is. I don't think I would have done that because, number one, I mean, he's a terrific safety. So, who's going to now replace him? Because Jalen Ramsey doesn't play safety, not primarily. I think he can. I mean, the dude's athletic, and I think he can do pretty much anything. But he's primarily going to be a corner. So you do have a really good corner in Jalen Ramsey, and then you got Joey Porter Jr. on the other side at corner. So you've got a pretty solid tandem there, especially in the AFC, which some of the best quarterbacks in the league are in, right? You got Mahomes, you got Joe Burrow, who's in your division, Lamar Jackson in your division. So it makes sense to get another corner who can play and who can cover. And Jalen Ramsey can tackle as well. He's terrific. But it's I just wouldn't have done it if I were the Steelers. Now, where I will give them credit is they seem to be going all in on this season with Aaron Rodgers, right? They made the trade for DK Metcalf. They have now traded for Jalen Ramsey. They signed Aaron Rodgers. So they now have Jonnu Smith, who is a really good tight end. So they're trying to load up as much as they can around Aaron Rodgers, which, listen, if you're going to go for it. And that's what it definitely seems like they're doing. And that's another benefit of Rodgers signing a smaller deal. I think his contract's like $13 million is with incentives is the highest it could be. So when you got a guy that cheap, you got to go all in. Now, another issue that they're dealing with is the TJ Watt contract. He is not happy. There's been multiple reports on it. He's due, I think, $21 million this season. I think it's the last year of his deal. But I mean, I get it because shoot, what did Myles Garrett get? Did he get double that? I mean, he's 49. I don't know off the top of my head, but he's making a ton of money. So I get it. If you're TJ Watt, you're looking at it saying, no. I've been a premier pass rusher in this league. Now, Myles Garrett has as well, so I'm no shade there. But I get it if you're TJ Watt. It's like, yo, I've been the one, playing and busting my butt. I had to fight y'all to get a contract extension last time. So that part will be interesting to see if they can get that worked out. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens there with the Steelers. But this is a bold move, and I think this is very different from what the Steelers typically would do. So kudos to them for going all in. This definitely gets them closer to what I call the kings of the AFC, which is the Chiefs. This definitely gets them closer to that. Now, they still got plenty of work to do, and some of it you're just not going to know until the season starts. You're just like, Aaron Rodgers needs to play well. Like, that has to happen. And we're not going to know if that happens until it just actually happens. So until September, October, we're never going to know. So we'll see what happens there. Other thing I wanted to talk about was there was a big story that seemed to come out quietly, that Pablo Torre and I think, oh gosh, I can't remember the other guy's name, but Pablo Torre was the one that I had seen the most attached to the story. But essentially it was how the NFL owners and Roger Goodell were, well, not basically, they were colluding to get to pay NFL players less guaranteed money. And it seemed to come on the heels of the Deshaun Watson contract. As we know, he got 240 million fully guaranteed. That was a big deal in multiple different ways, right? The contract itself was huge, but it was, the biggest fully guaranteed deal that, we had seen. Before it was like Kirk Cousins, I think had the for a quarterback was the 3-year $100 million that he got from the Vikings. That was the first year he left the Washington, at that time Redskins, but the Washington Commanders. So he signed to Minnesota, 3-year $100 million deal, fully guaranteed. That was actually even a bit of a bargain then. But with Deshaun Watson, he had a much, much bigger contract, obviously. And the NFL owners didn't like that. And they wanted to work to try to make sure that didn't start a new trend. And it didn't. They did a good job of that. And I think to me, this story, it's not surprising. I think it's pretty easy to see. I mean, if you really pay attention to what's going on and see the different contracts and things like that, and see how these teams play hardball, and this isn't that surprising to me. But I do feel like it should have been a bigger story, and it just wasn't, because that's a really big thing. But I mean, in general, you can see how these owners hold the line for this type of stuff, right? They make these quarterbacks go through, and although they a lot of times end up getting the big money, they make them wait until the nth hour to get it. They'll put you on a franchise tag and make you play a season with no future really on the books, right? A franchise tag is you get basically a fully guaranteed deal, but it's only one season. So call it $40 million. But if you get hurt or something, bad happens, then, hey, we now necessarily don't have to pay you that top dollar amount. We can now shortchange you because you either got hurt or, you're coming off an injury, or it's something where they would say, well, you didn't play that well last year. It's like, well, I was dealing with the pressure of literally having no money on my contract after this year. So it's kind of stressful, but is what it is. So it's not that surprising, but I thought that story would have picked up more steam. Because I thought it was a big deal, but it just didn't really do anything when it comes to, just kind of the news and the media, and especially at a time where things are so slow right now. It's interesting, but that is it for me. Hey, while you're here, please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, that's it for me. Peace.